It is a couple of years now since we have seen Volkswagen focus strongly on SUVs, and the Tiguan, Tiguan All-Space and the T-Roc have all proved to be extremely desirable. And Volkswagen's most strategic SUV for India, the Made in India for India Taigun, is now set to go on sale. Now, the COVID-19 pandemic proved to be a bit of a spanner in the works for Volkswagen, because we saw this one in concept form at the 2020 Auto Expo, then got up close and personal with the production version a few months ago. But finally, it is now time for us to get behind the wheel and tell you what the Volkswagen Taigun is all about. The first thing that comes to mind when you look at the Taigun is that it looks very premium. In fact, as soon as I posted a couple of pictures of this very Taigun on Instagram, I had somebody direct message me and ask what segment does the Taigun sit in. Well, somebody else even asked me how does it compare against the Tiguan All-Space, and that is a very positive design direction. The visual similarity to the previous version of the Tiguan is striking, and in fact the Taigun looks almost like its scaled down version. And that gives the face a sense of familiarity and a very European appearance. The Taigun is smaller in comparison to many of its rivals, but it does not feel small, especially in the flesh. The headlights and grille will differ slightly across variants, but the ones on the GT line here look very appealing. And Volkswagen says Indians love chrome, which is why the Taigun's face gets generous helpings of chrome garnishing on the bumper, grille, and even around the headlights. The boxy shape of the Taigun is old school, but again very appealing looking, confirming its SUV status. I also like the neat character lines and two-tone alloy wheels on this one. The Taigun also gets a set of roof rails, and these are actually usable and can carry loads of up to 75 kilograms. We had two shades of the Taigun with us, and admittedly, the yellow and red both look equally enticing. The rear end looks very distinctive thanks to the design of the tail lights and also the lights connecting them. And just like the front end, the rear also gets some chrome and a 4 skid plate as well. The premium vibe of the exteriors continues inside the cabin as well. In fact, Volkswagen has tried to offer a more youthful feel inside the Taigun. You can color match the center lip of the dashboard to the exterior shade of your Taigun. The steering wheel is nice, sporty to hold, it's got a flat bottom. And the automatic version of the GT line also gets exclusive bits like a fully digital instrument cluster and a sunroof. The digital instrument cluster lends the cockpit a classier feel, but the analog instrument cluster in the manual version also looks good. My favorite bit though has to be the color matched dashboard. It adds to the youthful vibe inside while also helping the dashboard look sportier. A crisp looking 10-inch infotainment screen is your gateway to a range of functionalities. Besides wireless charging, you also get wireless smartphone connectivity, which is a good addition. The infotainment screen also integrates a dedicated app store apart from connected tech, but while it includes offline navigation, the number of apps offered currently is limited. Overall, the Taigun is spec'd very well and is sure to tick a lot of boxes for young SUV buyers. Overall fit-finish levels are good and the quality of plastics is also reasonably good, but the finish on some of the plastics, like the ones on the AC vents, could have been better. The Taigun is also high on safety features and will come equipped with 6 airbags as standard, besides the solid German build Volkswagens are known for. We already knew the powertrain options the Taigun will be offered with. Now you have the 1-litre TSI, which is a 3-cylinder engine, and then there's the 4-cylinder 1.5 TSI, which we have seen in the T-Roc previously. My first rendezvous with the 1.5 TSI in fact was in the T-Roc, but not in India. It was on the streets of Amsterdam. And I was really impressed by its refinement and the punchy performance both. And I'm happy to report that the Indian version in the Taigun here feels as good in terms of refinement and performance both. This is the automatic version of the 1.5 TSI that I'm driving right now, where the engine is mated to Volkswagen's 7-speed DSG. And this gearbox is impressive as always, and I also have a set of paddle shifters here. With 150 PS and 250 Nm on offer from the 1.5 TSI motor, the Taigun is quick to build speeds, especially coupled with the DSG. The engine feels refined at highway speeds, and covering distances quickly is second nature for the Taigun, as I discovered on Rajasthan's Arrow Straight highways. Volkswagen's TSI range of turbocharged petrol engines has evolved to a point where they feel well suited to even SUVs today. That said, I'm curious to see how the Taigun powered by the 1-litre TSI is to drive, since the engine is in a higher state of tune for the SUV and offers an impressive sounding 115 PS. The 1-litre TSI will not get the 7-speed DSG though, and will instead be offered with a 6-speed torque converter besides the 6-speed manual gearbox. Of course, Volkswagen will offer the 1.5 TSI with a manual transmission as well, which is its tried and tested 6-speed gearbox. And besides the DSG, we are also driving the manual version. The manual transmission is slick shifting and offers precise gear changes, something I've always liked about this gearbox. In fact, to be honest, I somehow had more fun in the manual version of the Taigun, as it offered better control of the 1.5 TSI engine's impressive performance and also felt more engaging to drive. Overtaking on the highway is also a breeze thanks to the sprightly engine performance, and besides the engine's refined feel at highway speeds, the linear performance also meant I barely needed to downshift to overtake other vehicles. One of the most important bits about driving a Volkswagen has to be its dynamics, and the Taigun here is really impressive from behind the wheel. The steering offers brilliant feel and feedback. I really like how communicative it is, and the suspension setup is a nice mix of ride and handling as well. The Taigun thus feels properly European from behind the wheel, especially given how connected and precise its steering feels. That said, the balance between ride and handling has shifted towards offering a better ride quality now. Volkswagen's cars have always been known to offer a sense of firmness at slow speeds, but when tackling some of the broken roads, the Taigun did not feel firm at all, and in fact, the suspension felt surprisingly pliant. This should certainly help impress those buyers looking for an SUV that can offer excellent comfort on bad roads. On the flip side, this means the Taigun has traded some of the sportiness associated with Volkswagens usually, which was evident from the softer feel on undulated highways. Clearly, the Taigun is engineered more to suit Indian conditions, and that should help in making it a more convincing family SUV. So Volkswagen has done a really good job in terms of Indianizing the Taigun while ensuring that it feels like a properly German engineered SUV. It feels like a Volkswagen beat in terms of the design, the interiors, the quality overall, and especially the dynamics. It feels like a Volkswagen from behind the wheel with the kind of dynamics that it offers. And it ticks a lot of boxes in that sense. And in terms of the pricing, I expect the Taigun to be priced between 10 lakh rupees to 15 lakh rupees ex-showroom. And pricing is going to be something very important for its success, because this SUV is going to be positioned against some really good names like the Hyundai Creta and the Kia Seltos, and of course its own first cousin, the Skoda Kushaq. But having said all of that, I can confirm to you that the Taigun has come well prepared to take on its established competitors.